Hello friends, today we're going for a very important topic, how to present your answer according to the requirement of the icai examiner. You have left no stone unturned when it comes to the preparations for the CA final examination. But you must note that all the practice will be useless if you have not prepared yourself to answer the papers as the icai examiners expect you to. Therefore, with the days of preparations coming to an end, your worries about reference books and studying must come a lot. You now need to concentrate on how you will be answering your exams. You need to prepare yourself for it. The icai examiners have set standards and you need to follow them. If not, you could be in for a rude shock when your results are declared. This discussion will guide you in answering your papers according to the requirements of the icai examiners. Preparations to answer the CA final exams. By this time, you would have finished studying the entire syllabus for the CA finals and are ready to answer your exams, right? So you must remember that you are writing a professional exam, not one of your graduation exams, okay? Therefore, you must prepare yourself to answer the exam professionally. This is the final exam that you need to pass to become a chartered accountant. Consequently, you need to prove that you are eligible for that title. The examiner's first impression should be that he is looking at the answer script of a person who deserves a chartered accountant degree. The first look at your paper itself should convince him of the fact. For this reason, you need to present your paper professionally. The presentation in the paper should be excellent quality. You can easily estimate that if you have scored a particular mark, say 50%, by reproducing what you have studied on paper, you could earn 10% or more by presenting it perfectly. Points to remember as you prepare to write your exams. Number 1, make sure that you have everything you need for the exam. Check and see if you have everything you need for the exam before leaving your home. Also, make sure that you are dressed in comfortable clothing. If you do not have a proper conveyance to travel to the hall, make arrangements for the same well in advance. Reach the venue before time given the current situation. Getting to the venue of the examinations on time could be quite a challenge. Therefore, it would be good to identify the area well in advance, especially if you are unfamiliar with that place. Then calculate the time that you will need to reach there. Finally, add at least 30 minutes to the time thus calculate to make room for the last minute delays. Locate the examination hall and your seat once you have arrived at the venue of the examination. Locate the examination hall so that will eliminate the anxiety that you would have to go through the later if you cannot find it on time. If possible, look for your seat. By doing so, you can straight away walk to your seat without scampering around in the end. These moves will keep you calm and prepared to answer your exam. Preliminaries to be followed once you are on your seat. Make yourself comfortable. Close your eyes for a few minutes and speak words of confidence yourself. Remind yourself how hard you have worked for this and convince yourself that you can do this. Take a few deep breaths and your eyes closed before you stretch yourself a little. Take a sip of water and prepare to write the exam that is of great importance to you. Optimal use of the cool-off time. Okay, during the cool off time, the first thing to do is make sure that the question paper you have received is in proper order and complete. Go through the entire question paper starting from the last question. For it is a known fact that the end of the question paper will have the most accessible question than the beginning. Read every question and do not panic. Do not panic if some questions could be difficult for you to answer. Instead, set them aside to be answered after you are done answering the questions to which you know the answers well and write perfectly. Okay, so you must attempt the problematic questions after having answered all the easy ones first. So you need not qualify for this exam without working hard to clear the two equally difficult CA foundation exam and CA inter exam. Okay, so there is a lot you have studied and you have gained much knowledge too. Based on this knowledge, go ahead and tackle the difficult ones. Okay, so you must decide the complete order by which you will answer the exams upon during this time. Okay, so you should also determine challenges at the time needed to answer each question, and the last 15 minutes must be reserved to check your answer script before submission. By the end of the reading time, you must have strategy ready to answer the entire exam. Do not exceed past the allotted time. As you begin answering your paper, you may at some time get stuck. Okay, something you thought you knew very well may now be challenging to put on paper. Okay, do not panic and spend more than the allotted time for it. Leave sufficient space for it and move on to the next one. Do not exceed the allotted time in answering any question. Continue with the rest of the paper. At some point in time, you may answer some questions with ease and save time, giving you the required time to go back and answer the complicated ones. Maintain neatness and professionalism. Neatness in the paper should be focused on while you appear for the CA final exams. Do not strike off or scribble. To avoid such clumsiness, read the question well and make sure you are writing the correct answer even before writing the first word on the answer script. Take one sheet of the paper for each question. Do not binge on paper or nor worry about the wasting paper. For all you know, you could have missed out on writing something and could always go back and write it. Also, if you begin to write a part of the answer in the space left after the previous question has been answered, the answer you have written might seem too short, giving an impression that you are not sure of it. Okay, so highlights, it's a very important thing. Showcase your professionalism on your paper, but highlight words or statements of relevance. Such a practice should be followed whenever a theory question is answered. A pencil may be used for that purpose, but make sure that it shows. Write the answer in points and make use of the numbers or a symbol to differentiate between the points. Moreover, the matter in the points should not be very lengthy. Make it apt and to the point. Then answer only in 1 or 2 sentences. Working out should be shown on the paper according to the directives given by the icai module. Marks are provided for the answers and working out a solution. Hence, it is mandatory to work out the same and present it neatly and answer the problem. Keep calm. Keep your cool throughout the paper. There is no need to panic or feel stress at any time during the examination. If need be, when faced with the difficulty, close your eyes for a few minutes and get back your concentration. Leave the difficult question half answered or unanswered for the time being. Then move on to the next. Stress can ruin the entire exam for you. Okay, so it's very difficult. specific guidelines for the subject wise, like practical subjects, financial reporting, strategic financial management, and strategic cost management and performance evaluation. So the ICAI examiner will have neither time nor the patience to verify the methodology and steps used to work out the problems used by every candidate. He will look for a standard method for solving problems, and the examiners assume that the student will follow the same practice as illustrated in the study material of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. For this reason, the candidate should work out the problems and use similar methods of solving the problems as shown in the study material. You should not the working in detail, and you should follow proper steps. If they are inappropriate, the examiner could deduct marks for the same. That's a very difficult thing. For questions on accounting standards, initially you should write the whole text relating to it to form the excellent answer. Then after having done that, write the solution that is apt for the question. Make sure that you have written the relevant formulae for FM and costing. Examinations, it is an excellent practice to write the formulae on top or in a box where it is easily noticed. You should then solve the problem by applying the formula. For the costing exam, wherever asked or required to sketch the diagrams correctly, okay, that is very important. Show that you are in keeping with the times. For example, never write rupees for rupees, instead use the symbol. Okay, so whatever figure you put on your paper, it will have a related unit of measure. So be it dollar or rupee or kgs or liter, use that. So make sure to write it. Theory subject, advanced auditing and professional ethics, corporate and economic laws, and icai, information systems control and audit. You should not note that the icai, information systems control and audit paper, is taken off from the CA final syllabus, and in its place the elective paper has been included. The elective subjects are risk management, international taxation, economic laws, financial services and capital markets, global financial reporting standards, and the last one is multidisciplinary case study. The student attempting CA final after May 2020 may choose any one from the above 6 elective papers. However, icai has been included in this module as those students who have studied the ICAI course before May 2020 will have to answer the icai exam and not the elective papers. For the law paper, firstly make sure that the provisions of the relevant act are quoted. Secondly, the matter relating to the condition to questions should be written. And finally, write the conclusion with your decision. It is impressive to write down section numbers. It will earn you more marks. Nevertheless, if you are confused about the number section, it would be better to omit or avoid it. Okay? If you write the wrong one, you will understand that you are ignorant of the subject matter, which will work against you. To make a good impact on the examiner and prove your knowledge of the subject, if you are an existing CA aspirant and have to answer the icai paper, you must write the IT technical jargon or keywords. If these words are missing in your answer, the examiner may not give you any marks despite the incorrect answer. The answer in the answer script should correspond with those in study material modules. Do not write more than what is given there. One must assume that the examiner has a sheet of answers with him as in the study material of the ICAI, and will mark the solution with the optimum marks only if he finds the answers in the answer script are the same as in the sheet of answers provided to him. So keep it in mind that too. Neatness is a very priority in the theory paper in the CA final exam. Okay, so the writing should be legible and the written matter clear and to the point. To maintain neatness, it is a great practice to draw lines after every answer. Make sure the margins are removed. There will be time constraints and you may be tempted to skip this exercise, but remember, it could help you gain the additional respect of the examiner and with it the much needed marks. Avoid writing additional lengthy answers, believing that they will earn you more marks. Nevertheless, make sure it contains all the points. That is important thing. Understanding all its requirements and answering them to the point is the keys to secure the highest mark. So not look at the marks and calculate the number of words to be written. Instead, you should follow your answer, speak your knowledge to the examiner. Elective paper is a very sensitive thing. Elective paper is an open book exam. It is a case study exam but cannot be taken lightly. It is not a paper that can be studied and reproduced in the paper. Success is in the application of your knowledge. Books to be carried, textbooks, case study books like summarized notes of the entire syllabus, barracks and other such books that you feel the need for. Do not carry more than the books you need. Searching all of them could result in a waste of time. Better take those that you have studied from and can get the required reference quickly. Nevertheless, you should take the study material, the class notes and the index. Make sure you know the index well. It would be advisable to have a personally made index with the page numbers for easy reference. Refer to books only when you do not know the answer and not check every answer. Understandably, you would want to make sure that every answer is correct and check it even when you are sure it is accurate. Do not open your reference book unnecessarily. So, understandably, you would want to make sure that every answer is correct and check it even when you are sure it is accurate. Do not open your reference book unnecessarily. Make sure you answer at least 40% of the paper without reference. Reserve the questions that need a reference to the end. Firstly, answer those where to look for answer in the book you have with you, and finally answer those about which you have no idea. Every mark counts. Be careful not to spend more time looking for answers in the book. Go to the next and come back to those require more searching if and when you have the time to search. The paper is generally lengthy and time management is priority. Time yourself for every question. A lot of time will be utilized in reading, but make sure you read the question correctly, not give any wrong answers. Try to secure the most marks in the MCQs. Start with the question that has the most number of MCQs. The MCQs for 1 mark need to be answered only with the answer, but the MCQs for 2 or 3 marks need to be answered with a short explanation or necessary working out to solve the problem. You should write the MCQ answer in the block letters. Okay, so avoid questions that have a single subpart with 15 to 20 marks. Instead, attempt the question with many sub-questions. They are easier to solve and great to score marks. Next thing is questions of the elective paper should be read well and then look for the applicable laws. The other subject is direct tax laws and advance the indirect tax laws. Okay, you should answer the case study word for the word from the study material. The case law should be written initially, then you should follow it in the next paragraph with the facts about the case law and its provisions. The next part must compare the case with the question asked and finally your decision. For direct tax exam, be sure to write the whole explanation and notes concerning the gross income and the total income questions. Also, in the direct tax exam, you should answer the question on assessment professionally, inclusive of the provisions of the law. That's very important. For the indirect tax exam, the answers to GST based questions and questions on computation should be clear and precise. Make sure that the examiner finds it easy to understand. You can never answer the law paper perfectly without writing the appropriate section numbers. A law paper without the section number is sure to have a low score. Do not miss out on quoting the act with the year of enactment. Let the examiner know that you are a professional. Therefore, you should use Apex Court of India, Supreme Court, or words like honorable wherever applicable in your corporate law paper. It is an excellent practice to write the name of the law and the court where it relates. The abbreviated form will work, don't worry about it, and you do not need to write the complete words all the time. It will give the examiner the impression that you have enough knowledge about it, about the matter. That's what important, that's what give you marks. Review the answers before submission. This is the one step that many do not pay much attention to. You should remember that the stress of the exam or time limits could have taken a few critical and mark scoring points out of your mind. On reviewing, you could only remember them and make sure you secure the marks you deserve. Stop writing when you have the last 15 minutes of the exam. It does not matter at this stage if you have not completed the paper or not. However, you must make sure you do not lose marks by your carelessness or oversight. You could gain more by correcting the small mistake than trying to hurry to complete the answer in the exam. Make sure that all the required information to link the paper to you is neatly and written. Go through the answer paper by referring to the question paper to ensure all the question numbers are written correctly and no question is left unanswered. Yes, do not leave any question unanswered. Important. You have worked hard during all these years and made it to the CA final exam. Leave no question in the question paper unattempted. With the vast knowledge you have gained as a CA student, you will have some idea about it. Put that down, and the worst come worse. If you have no idea to rephrase the question to form an answer, and leave it. Correct all grammar mistakes and any other errors. Scrutinize your paper as finely as possible in the limited time. Conclusion to this discussion is to please an examiner is not easy if that is what you concentrate on doing. Nevertheless, it could be a distraction. The focus should be on writing the exam well, and you should present the same in the best way possible. The secret to success is proving your knowledge by applying the same in your paper. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. All the best. Do it best in the exam.